Good morning. Welcome to another Saturday morning nerd out. I hope you've had your bowl of cereal and are fully caffeinated because we have a lot to discuss this week and predictions for the final episode of Secret Invasion. I'm excited. I am Gabriel. Without further ado, let's bring in my other co-hosts here, starting with the one, the only, one of the original puzzle queens, the beauty to the beards, Mezzo.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Long
It's
time.
going good.
Long
Got my
time no
coffee to
see.
finish up. Yeah, long time no see. Like we just did a
Yes.
stream right before this.
Exactly.
It's 13 o'clock. I'm having a beer. Ooh, that sounds nice.
I mean, I agree. It's always beer o'clock. It's past noon my time.
Beer o'clock.
Beer o'clock. But the Skrull invader queen herself, the Super Skrull, Super Frey girl.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good Saturday morning to those of you who are on Saturday and on morning time.
Not us, but yeah.
Everybody else.
Yes.
Happy Saturday afternoon or Sunday morning or Saturday night. You know what?
Whenever you're watching this.
Just be happy.
Yes. It's always time to nerd out, no matter what time. As long as you're caffeinated or drunk, it's okay.
You say beer o'clock,
Caffeinated or
I
drunk.
say nerd o'clock.
Nerd o'clock? Yes.
It's always nerd o'clock.
Yes. And finally, the Shadoo with the shenanigans. Do. Shadoo.
Hey,
Hello.
This is our first stream together. I haven't done one
I know.
yet.
I'm excited.
Mezzo, Shadoo, Mezzo.
Hello.
Hello there.
Nerd o'clock. Yes, Chris.
Yes, Trez. It is nerd o'clock. It's always nerd o'clock. Like I said, I drink caffeine to wake up from the hangover from the beer the night before. It's a vicious cycle. All right.
I just do the Bloody Mary or the what's the other one? Or a mimosa. That's it. Just hair of the
Irish coffee?
dog, baby.
Irish
hair
coffee?
of the
Come
dog.
on.
Irish coffee. Yeah, the funny thing is like I'm
It's
not
vanilla
a big
hazelnut.
I'm not a big Irishy coffee person. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Unless it has whipped cream on the Irish coffee, then I'm all about it. But other
There
than
you
that,
go.
I don't know. It's the whiskey, because all I taste is burning, people. Whiskey equals taste burning.
Oh,
That's what whiskey
you
is.
put Kahlua into your coffee, so it's creamy, and that's how you make an Irish coffee. That's how
I'm
my
sorry.
in-laws do it.
An Irish coffee is whiskey, coffee,
I'm aware.
cream.
I'm aware, but we have to have our pumpkin spice latte Irish coffees, okay?
All right. I was gonna say Kahlua. I would call that a Hawaiian coffee.
I mean, it's fair. Is there a
Isn't
beer
Kahlua
coffee
Hi,
stout?
James.
Yeah,
Yes,
stout.
James.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
tons. There's tons. Stouts don't always
Milk
have to have coffee.
stouts. Those are pretty. Those are smooth. You've got your chocolate stouts that are nice. That would be good with a
There's
good
also
breakfast.
halfling stout. Those are pretty. Oh.
Yes.
In this universe, not D&D. This universe.
All right, but enough about that. Like I said, I hope everyone's caffeinated. Let's get into what everyone is here for, the Skrull game. Find that Skrull. And Frey, why don't you bring us up to speed where we're at with this?
Well, I wore green today. I finally
Skrull!
decided to be on brand with my, am I She-Hulk? Am I a Skrull? Am I both? Who knows?
Is there shenanery happening?
Shenanery.
There you go.
That's my territory.
I was gonna say, I think Shadoo's wearing a Kyber Cave shirt today.
Is he?
Are you?
I am.
Yeah.
There you go.
well,
Yeah, there you go.
I am wearing distance nerding gear all day, every
Oh, how
day.
dare you? Oh,
Well, gosh
How
darn
dare
it.
you.
I
Mine's
have my
Happy Buddha.
phone. I have my phone there.
You
Hi,
can't see me in my.
mixed.
Hey,
Mets
Nick.
has got purple and green in
Don't
the
say anything.
background. Scroll.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Scroll.
James. All right.
I am a self. I admitted it like immediately as soon as
You're
I
in your
was
Skrull
like, "No, I'm
era."
Skrull." I
Yes.
am. I'm in my Skrull era. All right. So on this last episode,
Mhm.
okay. So first 3 episodes, we got a lot of talking. wasn't a lot of gunfire. We had one explosion really, and then everybody kind of freaked out about it, and there was talk. So the last couple of episodes have been no more talk. We only fire with guns. And so it's like every gun that has ever been made, that will ever be made, has been fired in the last couple of episodes. And everyone's now they're all shooting each other. So that's James, you're hilarious.
Except that'd be a Super Skrull, because only a Super Skrull can have the type of beard.
Oh,
Mm.
that means
that
Husby's a
for the
Super Skrull.
long beard.
Yeah.
Skull
Skrull
beard.
beard.
I love it.
And so everybody's shooting everybody. Everybody's threatening everybody.
Mhm.
Rhodey got his own army, or should I say Scrody got her own army, because it's Scrody. And she's talking about taking him down and everything. I think she's got a crush on him. I think this is all jilted love, like unrequited love, or he did something to this particular Skrull.
He'll have to
Because-
be like a woman scorned.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And she been scorned, and she's sassy about it. So, and I'm loving it. I am loving Don Cheadle's portrayal of Scrody. It's amazing. And you know who was in it but didn't turn into a Skrull? Secret Agent Tall Guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he's still there. There's still a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
I mean, I think of the rest of. Sorry.
And yeah, so I'm all about it. I think that we're gonna see some massive explosions. I loved the Sonya Nick conversation, and where he just basically just outs himself as a Skrull lover. Like he's like, yeah, she's a Skrull, she's my wife, kind of thing. And Sonya's reaction was like, oh, I almost wanted her to have pearls so she could clutch them. But yeah, she was all about it. Yeah, I just thought it was great. And their whole conversation, it's like he's coming clean to her because he realizes he needs her, and I loved that, because Olivia Colman, just her joy in everything she's doing, and I have to believe this is actually Olivia Colman's joy that's just bleeding over into her character Sonya, because she's so happy to be part of the MCU. Someone asked her like a few years ago, she's like, oh my God, I love it. I'd love to be in it. It's like, because she's the awkward nerd, stage nerd that, we've all seen, we've all been. Yeah, so I just love it. I love the whole dynamic, the way that they cast it and how they have them interacting with each other. I just think has been brilliant. So, that's those are the things that, and hold on, Vara, who plays Priscilla, Vara, her and Gaia's like back-to-back shooting scene. I'm telling you, that was on the level of like John Wick, as far as like, we choreographing them down. Yeah, choreographing was great. And I even turned to Husby and said, can I have a kill kit? I was like, I want a backpack full of
you strap it on. Okay. And then I love how Gaia just like knew where everything was.
Yeah, they all just kind of
amazing.
Boom, boom. Yeah, so that they had to have training for that. That was probably part of their training that they did with Fury. And so I think, it's like, I just loved that scene. And I'm a big person of, let's put a scene like that in something so that it has meaning. And I felt like that whole episode was structured around repercussions. Like, things are coming, and like, how do you handle it? Do you run from it? Do you confront it? And I felt like that's really what it was, is that, oh, awesome. I didn't know that, James. That's amazing.
We talked to him too.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I know. But he can't say anything about anything MCU. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So I really honestly, I thought that it was really well done. And It's like, okay, so I compare everything to the elevator scene in Captain America Winter Soldier, because I feel like it's a small space. They didn't have a lot of room. They made it work, made it look organic, and it made it look real.
Mm-hmm.
And I compare it to that, and then the more, like, if you have more room, I compare it to the Daredevil not elevator scene, the hallway scene and the stairwell scene. And I think Punisher was the stairwell scene. He actually went through the stairwell. I think Daredevil had one too, but I want to say Punisher's was better. Anyway, so you can tell I do love a good fight scene. But I do compare that, and I felt like that one was really good. And to me, remember Mr. and Mrs. Smith when they were back to back because everybody was coming to kill him? It had that kind of feel about it. It wasn't as cheeky, but it had that kind of feel, and it was such a strong scene. So it made an indelible impression, and I still want one of those kill backpacks. So if anybody wants to give me one, let me know.
Now, would you compare it to a Rocket and Groot back to back?
No, because to me that's different, because their sizes are so different that it's really just Groot's just standing there and going around, and then Rocket's just the third gun. So I would compare, like, if Groot and Rocket were back to back with, say, Iron Man or War Machine, then I would do that. Or in the third one, when it was
Star-Lord
and Star-Lord,
yes.
That one, yeah, that was very similar. I liked that. I felt like the Groot and Star-Lord scene, I felt like that was a little bit more westerny.
Painter. Hi.
Hey
Painter. Long time no talk, Painter.
Yeah. Welcome in. He's just popping in to say hi and hope we're all well. So.
Well, thank you, Painter.
We appreciate all the love, Painter. And so I think that to me was a little bit more westerny, a little bit more like, where this one was all efficiency of movement and making sure you hit the mark. Like that, it wasn't we're just going to keep spinning until everybody's dead. It was you shoot, you keep going, you shoot, you keep going, which made it more tactical, which was in line with the show itself. Because I doubt that they learned any of that on Skrullos. I bet it's all human tactics is what they were.
You don't think they had bullets at Skrullos with Glocks and stuff like
that? Right, yeah, they did. So,
but the way
that was it.
You'd think that with different alien species, they might fight differently. So it makes you wonder if they were trained on Earth, because they fight a lot like humans do.
Yeah, so. And that's why. And the people that they were fighting, whether Skrull or not, obviously they're Skrull, but they used the same tactics. So I feel like they were using the tactics of humans, which, I mean, let's face it, in our real world, when we're portraying stuff like this, we are going to use human tactics because we don't know any other way to fight.
Right.
What?
So
I just throw poop at everyone as a monkey.
I love that you waited until Mezzo was like getting ready to take a piss. Perfect timing.
I was like, oh, don't spit it out.
You will chew it and swallow, Khaleesi.
All right, so do you want to get into then our predictions for this week?
Ooh, predictions.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
And I want to say that we all suck at trying to identify who's
Yes, we do very much so.
And I'm doubly responsible because I am a Skrull, so you'd think I'd know at least some of them.
Oh, let me start with you then, Frey. What are your predictions for the final episode?
All right, so at the end of the episode, Nick puts on the eye patch, so we know Nick's back, right? And he makes a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some people that he made phone call to, and I'm like, okay, who could he be calling? Who knows about the Skrulls? Well, we know that Carol Danvers knows about the Skrulls. And we know that Monica Rambeau knows about the Skrulls. And oh wait, both of them are going to be in a little movie called The Marvels.
Ooh.
So I'm wondering if we won't see a cameo or we won't see something. I'm wondering if we won't see something from Monica. I think Monica might be it because, you know, we really see him and her in The Marvels, you know, and they're both at the space station.
Yeah.
And someone was like at the end of WandaVision. I know it was a while ago, guys, but the end of WandaVision, they sent her up to Saber.
Yes.
So obviously she, you know, we've got, you know, there's that holdover now. Crazy talk now time. Goose.
Crazy talk.
Crazy talk is it's Goose. Goose is coming down. We're gonna find out Goose had kittens. Because someone said, "Oh my gosh, hold your horses, don't have kittens," and then Goose had kittens. Because I feel like that's exactly how the Flurkin procreate. They get really upset, and someone says, "Oh my god, don't have kittens," and then they have kittens, and you have to say it exactly that way.
Would it be Flirtons?
Yeah. And so the kittens are actually, they take DNA from whoever says that to them, and so the kittens are actually have some human DNA in it, and so they're going to actually have a Valley Girl talk and all talk like Madison.
There you go.
So I was gonna say it was a kitten with an eye patch.
Do you have any final Skrull review?
So I think this is it. This is the last thing. Are we going to set anything up? I'm thinking we are. I think we're going to see Val or we're going to see Laura. I think my big people that I said, I think this is going to be the week that we'll see them. So I'm going to put my overall picks and they're going to be one of them. But I'll say Val. I think it's more turning out to be Val. Because Val seems to be more connected, and that seems like it would be the thing. I don't know where I put it. There we go. All right. So I'm going to say Val.
Okay.
Because my secret agent tall guy did not work out.
So Val's
in the episode. But...
Right.
So Val's your Skrulltimate pick?
Yes, Val is my Skrulltimate.
There you go. All right. Why don't we go to Shadu?
All right. I have a whole list here, but
you only get two.
All right.
For your big ones.
So my big one for a long time has been John Walker, John Mayo,
Johnny Mayonnaise.
Johnny Mayonnaise. And I am doubtful of that. But you know, it could still happen. My kind of overall things is I think we're gonna see the real Ross, not Thunderbolt, Everett.
Yep.
I don't think Maria is dead either. I agree that Val's probably going to come back at some point. I just think it's going to be very, very briefly. I don't think it's going to be like a big thing. It may even be a post-credit scene with her. And then the wild one, throwing that out there, Coulson. That's what he was calling. It's Coulson.
That would be amazing.
It's still out there.
And he's bringing Daisy Johnson with him.
I'm quaking in my boots.
Or better yet, Melinda May. He's bringing the cavalry.
There you go.
And my, I don't know if I can do this, but my prediction is that no more Skrulls are going to be revealed.
No, you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have no more. So that's that's pretty much it.
Chris, cavalry is what Agent Melinda May's character was like kind of codenamed as in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
She got the code name because she came in and saved all of the agents from a little girl whose powers were out of control.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a very Richard's character traits of a kid. All right. Any other predictions then?
So I missed all of that. So can you go over every single thing you said in detail? I just need to know, who are you saying this week? You think it's going to be Coulson is going to be the Skrull? Oh, you said no Skrulls.
No,
I said no one. It will
no more Skrulls.
No more Skrulls will be revealed.
Oh, Chris didn't mean to have that as a question mark. He meant to be an exclamation point because he loves Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
There you go. All right. And he's saying overall?
My overall.
You said Johnny Mayo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're past the point of changes, aren't we?
Yep.
Yes.
So
No one changed anything.
Wow. We're dying on these hills.
We're dead set on this.
We're dying on these Maria hills.
Too soon.
All right, Mezzo.
I have this is kind of a weird prediction that Talos had some kind of secret plan that was going to be put into place if he died that even Fury didn't know about. And I think that will be like someone on Scrody's side that's actually a Skrull that Talos assigned a mission to like infiltrate. So that's just a suspicion. And then overall theory is kind of like what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh darn it. I don't think we're going to see the end of Gravik. I think he'll still be around because I feel like he's such an interesting character. That's just me not wanting to get rid of him kind of thing. I don't want to not see Olivia Colman anymore. I want her to go back because she's so freaking adorable. Because it feels like, because Olivia Colman herself as a person is very kind of upbeat and very chatty and smiling. And I feel like it's like her as Sonya and those like, oh, I can be your bestie, or I can be really good at not being your bestie, you know, like moments like that where I'd love, but I do, and we know Fury's not going to die because he's going to be in the Marvels.
Spoilers.
But I can't think in my mind what's going to happen per se, but I have a feeling that Gravik will just be captured instead of like actually eliminated, and it will be by Coleman and Fury's characters, who will then, because Fury did that with her, he'll gain some like respect back and like his job will be reinstated. Kind of a thing. So that's kind of what I'm guessing. Coleman's character Sonya could possibly in the future be like, well, you owe me now. And so that could come into play at a future point.
Interesting.
I like that. I wonder if he's going to change, if Nick Fury's going to change positions and he's not going to be for the US, but he's going to be for like NATO or something. And so he'll actually be more, like more international. And they just say, well, you're going to be on Saber since that's an international thing. Yeah. So but I love that. I love where your train of thought, like where it's going. I could totally see that, Mezzo. So, all right, Graveyard, you're up. Let's do this.
Yeah, it's me.
All right. Wait. I got so into that. Mezzo, who did you say there was going to be as the Skrull? For the Skrull to miss?
I think it's a secret person that Talos put in, like in that mission that he sent.
So
that's on Scrody's side, but
double agent double agent Skrull.
Secret agent Skrull. Oh.
I'm just gonna put double agent Skrull, and that's how we'll know. Sorry.
It's all right.
I'm just getting really into like everybody's stuff. I'm like, this is so great.
Oh, good.
I'm still sticking with that.
Oh,
Graveyard?
Well, all right, he's frozen.
Oh my gosh, he is frozen. This is great.
I
was frozen. Yeah, you were frozen.
You're good.
It was
I
me
didn't freeze on my end. I didn't freeze on my end.
Yeah, you were. It was great. You'll have to go back and look at it. The expression on your face when you froze was also fantastic.
So I think it's still going to be Val, and I still think it's going to be a Galaga guy overall. But I also said at the very beginning, we're not going to get any major things either. Like Brody's probably be the most major. So I'm sticking with those two. This week, I think we will get Val as the Skrull. And I still think the post-credit scenes is going to lead up into Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think so too. Fantastic Four. I know they're like the culmination is going to be Secret Wars, obviously. There's a reason it's after the Kang Dynasty,
Right.
so it's to get everybody.
Yeah, the Mets are eating.
She's eating food, James. Oh my god!
I'm done. I finished it. It's in the wrappers in the trash.
So, no, I mean I think that's really it. I wasn't expecting big revelations from the show because we've had so many ideas and we expected these TV shows to follow these storylines, and they really, really don't. We're expecting these huge revelations, and we generally do not get them. And I think that's just the inherent nature of the shows at this point in time. So I think we're expecting way too much out of Marvel and their Disney Plus shows. They're going to save the revelations for the blockbuster movies that make them the most money.
I don't know. They started doing the revelations. Like they really did. Like with WandaVision and Loki. I mean, Loki introduced us to Kang, guys. I mean, that's a pretty big revelation.
I feel like the TV shows have been more of a
jumping point.
What's it? Not like an epilogue, prologue. What's the one before?
Prologue.
Prologue. Yeah, I feel like the shows have been prologues to bigger movies.
Right. I think they're jumping points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think so too. But it's like we got Sword in WandaVision, and we got
breakfast sandwich is a Skrull. I am James. I
will. So, but I feel like I think initially they wanted it to be, hey, we'll do one big thing that's going to move into the bigger world, like the bigger universe. Yeah. And then the pandemic hit and they were like, well, crap, now we've got now everything's stalled, so now what do we do? And I think that's when they decided to start churning out Disney Plus stuff, and they didn't have enough reveals for that, and so they went back to the old television mold of well, the television shows aren't going to be as the big of a deal, and I think that's where it started.
Yeah. And I want to say before we move on quickly, and I think this will be a discussion point for maybe next week or after at some point. I have a major grievance with the Harvest.
Oh,
because it's a religious thing?
No.
Oh,
it's discussion. It's discussion.
Religious thing, because I don't know what you're talking about.
The harvest, the blood of every person that dropped blood at the Battle of Earth.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this before. We discussed this in other places. Think about everyone that was at the battle at Endgame. How many of them have superpowers that would matter? 5?
All of them?
I mean, all of them. What do you get from the Wakanda warriors? What do you get from all the sorcerers that you would need that you couldn't do yourself?
Well, okay, so the Wakandan warriors probably have probably have some vibranium in their blood. If vibranium hit that closely, and they have it so much in their
except vibranium's alien, so the Skrulls would have access to it too.
Not necessarily.
No. But you know what I'm saying? Like they might have richer blood, which may have mutated it, which might hold on to powers better.
So, and here's the thing,
I'm just
though.
saying that they could do that,
But I mean, okay, you have Tony Stark's blood. What's that do for you? You have
another
Hawkeye's blood. What's that do for you? You have Black Widow's blood. What's that do for you? Well, you have Ant-Man. You have Valkyrie. What does that do for you? Nothing.
Well, Valkyrie actually isn't human. So there may be something in her blood that they might use.
But Skrulls aren't human either. They're a species, and this is inherent nature to the species themselves that aren't genetically traits. They're just there. So, and I have issues with the pieces that they already have for the Super Skrull because Groot isn't unique. That's his species.
Yeah.
So it's like saying, hey, I'm gonna get Kree blood all of a sudden so I can turn my skin blue. That's just an inherent nature of the species. Groot is inherent nature. The Frost Beast is just a creature. There's nothing special to it. It's not a superpower. It's just a characteristic of a species. And same with Obsidian Call.
Obsidian. Yeah.
He's Obsidian. He's just a species. So as far as superpowers that you can't just mimic, you can make yourself look like a frost beast, regardless,
Mhm.
because it's not a
I don't-
superpower; it's just a
Mhm.
species.
But you
It
wouldn't
reminded
have
me of
like
Jurassic World. Smash
the
all
cold-
the DNA
yeah.
of the
Right.
the
dinosaurs.
cold powers, and I do see where like that gripe, absolutely, and I absolutely see where they went. Okay, we don't have Fantastic Four for the Skrulls
Right.
to have their
Yes.
powers, so let's do stuff that'll mimic that. And I see that. I see that that's what they did. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the powers that they have, those every single one of them, well, except Extremis, are
That's not superpower.
species.
That's
No.
that's not superpower. That is something you can just inject into yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't need
Oh,
to be a
yeah.
super Skrull to do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really my gripe with the Harvest. Is like there's 5 heroes that actually have something in their blood, and I would argue because they're immune to radiation, that Hulk's blood and Spider-Man's blood would do nothing for them because it's radiation.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
good
that's
point.
true.
That's a
Yeah.
good point.
Because
Yeah.
it's all radioactive stuff, and if they're immune to radioactive, it wouldn't trigger the same thing.
Yeah,
Good
Thor
point.
wouldn't. Thor's not going to have anything because his lightning.
Right,
So
he's
that's
just an
from
Asgardian.
Yeah, he's an Asgardian.
Right, and that's what Valkyrie is. And Drax is just Drax. Gamora is just Gamora. Nebula. Mantis that's her species trait. Is they
Right.
have that. They're just traits of a species. That's not
Mhm.
a power.
I mean, I guess I could see where you could kind of do some genetic testing on it and figure out, hey, what are the different genes that activate this and whatnot.
Yeah,
But you'd only
in this
need
species, but
a sample, and then
Right.
you don't need it. So yeah, I get it. You
Right.
just need to like find someone out there. It doesn't have to be specifically Mantis or Cull Obsidian or whatever. You just need to find someone out there.
Right, but I mean,
Well, and then-
as Chris said, it's characteristics, but I don't
Yeah.
think characteristic is a power. So a
well,
frost,
and
not
then
necessarily.
he went and he got the harvest, and the harvest actually turned out to be Captain Marvel's
Mm.
blood.
right? But
yeah,
but-
so I mean that
but
it
what
seems
was
like
it-
that's
what's
what
that
they were
gonna do,
going for.
too?
what did her power come from?
The Tesseract.
Space radiation.
Yep. So then they're not going to be able to use it.
Correct.
No,
I
that's
think
a
without
good point.
the Fantastic Four and X-Men that actually have powers built into their DNA, Super Skrulls are pretty much not what they should be.
So
Yeah,
they're
okay.
faux super.
Well, I mean, if you can take on the characteristics, if you can look like Cull Obsidian, why wouldn't you have that strength of his size?
Well, because
What-
they can just mimic the outward appearance. They can't
Right.
mimic the strength.
But if you're able to build mass, that mass behind Cull Obsidian's strength is not because there's some genetic disposition to him. That's just what he is.
Oh, well, that's true.
Okay. No, that's a good point. It's a good point.
Because regardless, if we went down that route, then Ant-Man would have super strength as big or strength as small because it's determined by mass and the spacing
I
between
thought
the
the
atoms.
suit helped him with that, though.
But I'm saying, what's Ant-Man gonna do? You can put a Skrull can put on the suit and shrink. Nothing special about it.
Yep, that's true.
So I think without all these actual superpower individuals, Super Skrulls are useless right now.
My
Yeah.
creepy baby says you're right, and let's move on because
Okay.
we need to take
It's
those.
funny. I
Yes.
didn't even notice the baby until now, and now I'm like, oh, great, baby.
It's the only thing you're
I
going to notice now. I know.
moved over on purpose because I was like, I want the creepy baby
Yes.
in here.
All right, so enough about my rant. But let's move on because something that's
I
leading,
loved it. I did.
it's something that's been
because
bothering
now
me to no
You
end.
can never get mad at me for going on a tangent.
It's
I'm
my
kidding.
first one in a year. Thank you.
Look what you've done, Graveyard.
Okay, but speaking of things that are leading into other things, and speaking of powers and space, the Marvels, right?
Woo!
So we had,
The Marvels? Marvels? Did someone say the Marvels?
I did say the Marvels. Hope everyone was able to watch the trailer, the newest trailer. And let's do roundabout thoughts and how more or less excited you are for this. We'll start with someone putting on her makeup to be pretty.
I'm pretty without it, but I just like to wear it. To not be shiny and washed out with my ring light. I am freaking excited. I think this looks like a good mix of comedy and world as any scenario. That's pretty much like all Marvel movies though. So But I love Iman so much. I find her adorable, and I love her passion behind Marvel stuff already there. Like,
Yeah.
so she plays the character really well, and she just cracks me up. Oh, I love your water bottle, Frey.
This old thing.
This whole thing. And I'm excited to kind of see where it goes. I think the power switching from like every time they use their powers, it activates the switching of whatever's going on with them. And I don't know if that's a storyline in the comics specifically, like the switching and the story and the powers and stuff. Not that I'm aware of, but it will definitely create some hilarity in there, but definitely some freaky stuff, like when we see Kamala in like in the spaceship suddenly with the Flurkin Gherkin.
Oh my god!
And yes, oh my god! Like, and it's like, okay, because she's not gonna be like, she's brand new to this, right?
Mhm.
So it's like she's newer to the life, like the death defying life, like scary scenarios in life in general. She has to adjust to that, but I think it's hilarious because she's still kind of like that face. So
Oh yeah. She
That's
definitely she's definitely the audience's window into the movie, and so I think that's cool. Yeah, and you know, you usually have to have that in a story, is you have like somebody that the audience can relate to, and so that's the reason that you're telling different things about it. And so that's a good thing, so that they can catch everybody up on Captain Marvel through her. And you know, she's already a huge fan, so she, you know, she can interrupt in the wonderful, adorable way that Iman Vellani does as Miss Marvel. So yes, and I am totally mom infatuated with Iman Vellani, and I would love for her to be my daughter. So
all right, sure.
Yes. So I'm like,
there.
either by marriage or adoption. I'm pretty much saying that. So Iman Vellani, we'll talk later. And so no, I have been waiting for this movie. I've been I honestly, as soon as they announced it, and immediately after Miss Marvel, I was like, I need the movie now. I have to see more of this. I cannot wait. You have 3 women who are strong women, strong characters, and have strong powers. And having them, and they're used to, all of them are used to being the only one with powers. Like, you know, and so seeing them all work together and how that's going to play out, I think that's going to be great. I do feel that Iman Vellani is going to be the audience's insertion into it. Yeah, she's going to be the one. And her just like positivity and the, oh my God, like her going, are we a team? You know, I mean,
we're
like
besties now.
Right. And like when Nick Fury comes in and she's like, did I get it? It's like just her like exuberance.
That secret part of us that wants to be a superhero too. You know, everyone has that secret part of you that wants that, and she's that part of you full blown.
Exactly. And
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the She-Hulk like haters to come out for this one, because it's all women.
Oh, definitely. Oh, they've already started. Like, they're
they're not so intelligent.
That's what that's kind of what I thought. And this trailer, you know, it really opened it up a little bit more. And the whole thing with Nick having the conversation with Carol, I think that was good, because I think we need to see that, hey, they've actually been in contact with each other. They are friends. This is another part of Nick Fury that we haven't been able to see. And I do think that that's going to be important. I have a way off prediction for Secret War that just popped into my head. So I'm just going to go ahead and blurt it out. I think Nick Fury is going to die in Secret Wars.
Oh, so because of that, we have to give it a phraziest or craziest. That's so phraziest or craziest. Phraziest. So most likely to happen.
I feel like I would never not say crazy.
But I also am of the belief that Nick Fury is secretly an immortal. So you know.
Yeah.
I mean, look, at this point,
Mm-hmm.
this
Right.
point, both Sam Jackson and Nick Fury are immortal.
I've seen him at the meetings.
The immortal meetings, yeah.
Yeah,
Immortal
we
meetings?
we have meetings.
I know.
At the DoubleTree by the
I know.
by the
yeah.
highway.
I
Yeah.
was supposed to talk about that. Sorry about that.
All right. So
Sorry, buddy.
Shadu,
We'll talk about
what's-
that clip.
Sorry, Bob Saget.
Shadu, what? I mean, how excited for this movie after this?
I am
plays?
very, very excited for it. I mean, like, obviously, I love Miss Marvel and I love Montalani for many reasons, but I was like, I mean, I was really, really excited after Miss Marvel because I was like, I really loved Miss Marvel. I was like, oh, this sounds really cool. And I was a big fan of Captain Marvel and all that, all the lore they laid down for the Kree and all of that was really amazing. I'm really excited to see Monica, actually. Kind of just going on from WandaVision, seeing how she's evolved her power set a little bit and kind of gotten used to it and things like that, and kind of just dealt with, hey, I was blipped. How does this affect me? And now I have these powers, and now, I had to deal with Wanda and all this. So I'm really interested to see what's happened since WandaVision to her and how that's affected her and kind of her and Carol's relationship and all that. It's really going to be interesting. And it's going to be interesting to see the two of them interact with Kamala, because it's like, you have this just big fan coming into your life and you're like, oh my god, I don't know what to do.
Right.
It's like the ultimate little sister.
It really is. It really is. And I think it's going to be really funny to see them kind of like have to parent a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
Can you imagine Carol going, I am not babysitter?
So no, I'm really excited. Trying to think if I have any predictions. Oh yeah, no, I agree, Chris.
I like that one a lot too.
I think we're going to see, since it's all connected to WandaVision, I think the post-credit scene of the Marvels is going to either be something that Frey had predicted. I don't remember what the name of the aliens were, but it's the one that Professor X and everybody got.
Shi'ar.
Dark Phoenix.
The Shi'ar.
The Shi'ar.
The Shi'ar. So I think we're either going to see the Shi'ar and some of the X-Men, or we're going to see something with Wanda. So
interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. Those are my crazy predictions.
So I'm definitely excited. I saw Captain Marvel twice in theaters. I tend to see most of these twice in theaters. One, I go with my co-host, and then I take my oldest daughter as well. So we do two different things. So it's interesting. I'm excited. I think it'll be a great movie. And my crazy prediction is, yes, I think we're Fantastic Four. We're going to the Baxter Building at the end of Secret Invasion. However, I think we're going to see their ship attached to Saber to go out into the mission.
Ooh.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, I like it.
They're building it out. Like I said, we're going to get the Baxter Building. We're getting the Baxter Building in Secret Invasion, and I think we're going to start getting name drops and building the team of scientists to go from Saber to go through these the hexagon jump points that humans really just haven't done yet, and that's how they're going to get into where they are to get their powers. Is they're going to go through that network that most people don't know about.
Oh, how about I'm gonna jump on that just a little.
Yes.
What if the moment before, the reason that Fury sends Monica out to investigate the energy is because they sent the Fantastic Four through that and can't get them.
Ooh.
So we're seeing the moment after that happened.
Yes.
Ooh.
And so that might be a string they pull later on. So that could be it too, because I thought, well, okay, does this just appear? Does that wall just appear? Or like, did something happen and that's why they're going
Did somebody use it?
Yeah. And so that's why it's like something either came through or we sent something through and there a boo-boo happened. And so that's why we're trying to figure out. because I was just like, why would she be there? They just went, here, Monica, let's push you out the airlock. Why don't you go see what's going on out there?
Go see what's going on. Bye.
Yeah,
Have fun.
As humans, we're more reactive than proactive.
Oh,
So,
yes, very much so.
And
Yeah.
I saw
Very
the
much
Meg
so.
last night,
Oh,
and
God.
I have thoughts. So I'm just going to tell you that now. So whenever we want to talk about that.
Oh, we will,
We don't talk
because
about
We
it
will
today.
talk about it before the second one comes out.
'Cause I have a lot of thoughts.
I have lots of thought too, because I've been reading the books for 20 years. So
Yeah.
Mm.
It still
So-
blows my mind that there are books about them.
oh yeah.
It just does. It blows my
Well,
mind.
I mean, hey, Jaws was a book too, so let's not be that surprised.
Yeah, but there are multiple books. It's not one book. It's
7.
multiple.
Are there like Sharknado books too? What's the deal here?
We'll discuss it when it comes time.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Well, I was gonna say we'll do that in Pluggables. I mean, no,
Yes.
no, I did not write a Sharknado.
We'll just go over this topic really quickly here. I know Frey, you mentioned you don't necessarily care about that, but
Right.
this is a part of my childhood. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series is coming to Nickelodeon in preparation for Mutant Mayhem. That's, I think, ran from like 1989 to 1996.
Oh, it's the original cartoon?
Yes.
Man.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I mean, that's still kind of cool.
I have watched enough Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Mm-hmm.
that I know enough about them, and I did read some of the comics. I'm just saying, I have beef.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm definitely excited because I grew up watching this, and you do see the era of the show where parents called and complained, and then Michelangelo's nunchucks went away, and he started using the grappling hook for everything because of not. I think in England you can't have nunchucks being used as a weapon.
Well, in some states you can't have nunchucks; they're illegal.
Oh, right. I'm saying that, but
Yeah.
in the UK, they changed it to Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because ninjas and ninja paraphernalia is not allowed. So we saw that change in that show. Now, I happen to have all of this on DVD, so for me, it's nothing special. But for anyone who hasn't caught up and seen the original cheesy goodness with Uncle Phil as the Shredder, it is absolutely perfect.
I didn't mind the cartoon because it was not like the comic.
Yeah, it's not. Have you seen these at all?
Nope.
All right. Will you watch these?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I've heard bits and pieces.
Yes. What about you, Mezzo? You're muted there.
I'm like laughing and saying something. Totally thought I was commiserating. All right. I don't know. To me, TMNT is one of those. You know how, like, hey, have you watched pitch meetings with Ryan George before?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Hey, you know how he talks about studio comes out with another thing of this because it made us money before. Like, that's just, to me, there are so many, and I guess it's just as a personal preference. I'm so tired of seeing something that's been done many times only to be done again in a different way. And I feel like it's just feeling, yes, there's nostalgia. If I want nostalgia, though, I'll go watch the movies from like the 80s and 90s, those ones were live action, and how revelatory or whatever it felt like with those masks that they had on, like their suits and stuff. And I would rather just go watch those and watch anything new from TMNT. Because it feels like the whole thing of, oh, hey, this made us money. Let's try to do it again. Like, that's just what it feels like. And maybe that's just a personal preference for me. Like, I'm tired of seeing something redone over and over again. Like, I didn't mind. He's super easy, barely an inconvenience. I didn't mind like Dead Space when it was remade. Because they did, like, it was the first time it was done, and they did it super well.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus like something that's been done over and over again. I didn't even watch the last TMNT thing because I'm like, like,
Right.
it just feels the same to me.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we had a whole rant about this. I think it was on Distant Starting about sequels and all of that. So yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah,
this-
about like why
Yeah,
do
like
you gotta keep?
prequels, and you don't need to do all that. It's a whole thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
go
want
watch
some
that if you want to.
fresh thing, which I'll kind of bring
Right.
up that feeling when we talk about the Last Voyage.
Yes.
So
Yeah, it's
All
like if you want to tell a new story, absolutely. Like if
Yeah.
they did, and I'll say this because again, I have beef, but
I have chicken, so
you've always been a dino guy. All right, so now I can't remember what I was gonna say. I do, I remember. Sorry.
It's all right.
If they did the Last Ronin,
Yes.
if they did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the Last Ronin, I would be the first one to buy a ticket to that. That is an amazing story, and it's emotional. It hits all the beats. You do that as a movie, I mean, you'll get all the fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and all the people that are just casual fans will get a heck of a story that will make them really think about those characters. And that would be I mean, to me, that's it. It's like doing Batman's origin every freaking other year. They did that. I swear it was like for 20 years, we got a new origin story of Batman every single time we saw him. It's like, guys, we know what happened to Batman.
Right.
Tell another freaking story.
We get it. He's an orphan. All right. Move on.
He's a rich orphan
Yes.
that likes to berate his butler. Now move on. Let's go.
Yes.
And he's got a weird affection for bats. Let's
Yes.
move on. All right.
Got a
So
weird
yeah,
Bat King. We're not sure. Not sure what's going on there.
Yes. So that moving on quickly, we'll discuss the gaming and horror quickly. Greyhill Incident. Do you guys happen to watch the trailer? What are your thoughts? And who wants to be on here to scream for me? Because I won't scream while playing this.
I mean, I'm a screamer.
So do you watch you watch your trailer, Ray?
I did. Actually, I thought this looks like a really cool game. I mean, this is a game I would watch someone else play. Like that. I mean, because I'm not going to play it myself.
Right.
But I absolutely would. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, if you want me to watch you play, I will absolutely watch you play and scream at the appropriate times and be taken in by all the jump scares and all of that. I will absolutely do that.
I'll be there for it too.
It was really cool. I was like, man, we're killing aliens. Kill those aliens. Get them. Like by the end. So, but it looked spooky AF. Is my review.
Nice. Should do.
I just really like, and I don't know too much about the lore here, but it really seems to build off the kind of just traditional
Greys. Yeah.
The traditional Greys and the traditional kind of folk narrative of this is,
right.
They're coming down, it's in a random field in some little small town and whatnot. It really feels like they made a game out of somebody's experience. Or like, they went to, I don't know, what's his name? Somebody who was abducted, or it seems like maybe an adaptation of why can I not remember what this is called? The Kelly Hopkinsville incident, the whole thing where they had all the little aliens running around their house. It seems very similar to something like that. So I feel like it really has a lineage of these conspiracy things and all of this. It's really cool I've integrated that into a horror game, especially. So yeah.
That's I think so I wrote that it gives off Signs vibes with aliens and crops all around.
Yeah.
The graphics, aren't mind-blowing, but the story to me is very intriguing. It kind of reminds me of like a TV episode of X-Files without Mulder and Mully. Like you're one of the characters in the background. But the end made me laugh because he's like, Rachel! And I just thought, Adrian! Like random. I've never seen Rocky, but like, everybody knows that. Like yelling part.
Yeah.
But I think maybe it's like for Frey, of course, she's not as exposed to the horror stuff as I've been over the years and all the scary stuff that I've played. So to me, I look at it and go, oh, it doesn't look that scary. And then I'm like, what the heck am I talking about? I get scared of the games anyway. Movies I don't get scared of really because I'm not in control. The games, when I'm in control, and especially if I'm being pursued, if you watch Last Voyage series on our channel that just released an upload yesterday, you'll see me getting pursued, and I'm like the whole time. That's what it feels like inside. But I think it looks fun. It looks fun. But science vibes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
If you splash water on that alien and it dies.
So
that is some bad decisions.
Yes. So I'm excited. I have the game. I'm gonna play. I haven't determined when and where that's gonna happen, but it needs to happen. I need someone else with me because I'm not emotional and not scared very easily. So I need someone to scream for me. But to me, I'm gonna go very old school, not old school, but old idea. It's very McPherson tapes. For anyone who doesn't know what McPherson tapes is, it was a TV movie that acted like a found footage with alien abductions.
Like Blair Witch before Blair Witch.
Yes. So imagine Fire in the Sky. Do you remember Fire in the Sky?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, we were talking about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah. I was like the DB Sweeney movie.
And that's the guy's name I was trying to remember. Whoever the guy from that was.
Yeah. So it gives me vibes of McPherson tapes and found footage alien abductions, and as a horror game, and that's great because usually when you have aliens in a video game, either you're blowing them up, they're your allies, or you play them and destroy all humans. So
loved that game.
So I mean, and really, Aliens is generally horror, but having aliens as a horror and the typical gray aliens, not these ginormous gross creatures that you get in Dead Space and Callisto Protocol, and we get the norm of aliens. It's great to see that, and goes back to the couple in the 50s that really started the whole alien abduction trend in the Greys. So yes. I love the lore behind it. And I love a lot of conspiracy theories about it, that they are just humans from the future, that our eyes gotten so big because of technology, and we don't have to have the strength. So our eyes are bigger brains, and I like that. So I'm excited for it. I'm going to play it. I need 1 or 2 people maximum to play it with me, and we'll do this. So that's my
Bray and I could be your screaming chorus.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to suggest I should be there too. I mean,
you two, have fun. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I have enough editing to do.
One quick question.
Yes.
And it's a yes or no question. Do you believe in aliens? Let's start with Graveyard.
Yes, but not in the way you think.
You believe in teeny tiny amoeba aliens, don't you?
I believe that with the billions of planets and the billion solar systems, that is inconceivable to think there isn't some sort of life somewhere else. We can't be the only thing out there. But I am also a big proponent of the dark forest theory, where I think we discussed before, we're the only ones broadcasting, hey, here we are, and everyone else is keeping quiet. Because
everybody else is like, y'all stupid. Okay.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
All right, Mezzo.
Yeah, I love that. There's a whole book series about that. So.
Okay, so sorry to everybody that doesn't agree with. So I'm Christian, right? I'm non-denominational, but just because aliens aren't listed in the Bible doesn't mean they don't exist. Just like Graveyard, we have such an expansive place beyond our Earth. I don't see how there's not something else, someone else out there. I honestly kind of don't care about necessarily getting in contact with them. We've seen the predictions in the future of what it's like to have aliens on Earth.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
yeah.
And it messes up for humanity. So I mean, I'm kind of indifferent, I guess, but I don't see why there wouldn't be something out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Shidoo.
I think we pretty much all agree on this. Aliens definitely exist, especially if the universe is infinite, which all signs point to it being so. It is impossible for there not to be aliens. In fact, if the universe is infinite, there's another Earth, but that's a whole other thing. I don't know if they've visited us, though recent developments have made me think maybe they have. And I'm just going to end off with I believe it was,
Aliens.
I think it was Asimov. aliens. Is it possible? No. I'm gonna end off with any sufficiently advanced technologies indistinguishable from magic.
There you
Frey?
go. Frey?
Yes, I believe they're aliens.
No,
That's
being an immortal, can you confirm or deny that you're not an alien from another planet?
Jesus.
I
Skrulls.
can neither confirm nor deny.
All right.
Could an alien grow this good of a
being-
goatee? Oh.
Being immortal means that even though you remember a lot of things, you also forget a lot of things too.
Yes.
And so I may have partied with an alien once or twice. I'm not gonna, I never
It was
said
Phil.
I was
He was great. She was drunk. I wasn't.
immortal
That's-
and stayed on the earth the whole time. I might
There
have
you
had, a lost
I mean,
decade
yeah.
or two somewhere else.
I mean, this is seriously kind of a philosophical question. If you're an immortal, time doesn't matter. So you can totally travel to other stars. So there's a possibility aliens could be immortal.
There you go.
And that completely distance problem is gone.
All right. Well, speaking of one immortal
Oh, hi,
to
John.
another, Last
Woo!
Voyage, Demeter.
Woo!
Hope everyone watched it. No, Mezzo, you had some thoughts. Why don't we start with
Chris.
you?
Yeah. I'm just going to respond to Chris and say hi to John real quick. Hi, John.
Hey,
Hi.
John.
And he goes, I don't think the distances are conducive to traveling between planets. That is true. We don't have that
Yes.
kind of technology.
Yeah.
At least not yet. All right. So
Right.
the Last Voyage of the how do you say it? Demeter?
Demeter.
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 Okay. I love horror movies taking place in a different era. Like not, nothing in the last like 30 years, 30 to 50 years. I like stuff that's earlier. And so I think that's kind of interesting because that's an era of our history in sense that aren't as well kept as today when it comes to like what happened or what life was like exactly and stuff. So I think it's really interesting. And I think it's even more awesome that you're on a boat with nowhere to go.
Yes.
Like you
Yeah.
are stuck. And so it kind of reminded me a lot of just kind of like not an escape room necessarily, but like you're stuck in a place and you just have nowhere to go. And then I'm looking forward to it. It felt very eerie in aspects of it where like, you could hear almost like the deafening silence of just the waves and you know that it's out there somewhere kind of a thing. So I think it looked fun and interesting. And I liked this, to me felt like a new take on something scary versus like a redo or something similar, but kind of different. This felt pretty different. And I really enjoyed that.
Or
feeling.
let's update this thing and make it modern times. Or yeah.
Right, exactly.
Well,
It's
they
not
did
like-
that. They did that with the Dracula series on Netflix. So
Yeah.
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 So I think it looks interesting and fun. I couldn't tell, my contacts are a little blurry, so I couldn't tell exactly who the main character actor is. But I don't think it was Donald Glover, but it looked like it.
no, I have to look it up. He reminded me of one of the guys on Our Flag Means Death.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Do you know what Our Flag Means Death?
You
Thanks, though.
see my Debbie, it just goes shoo.
Our Flag Means Death is a new TV show starring Rice Davies, Taiki Waititi, and it's his show. So it's about pirates, and there's a whole diverse cast and crew.
Okay,
on that ship.
I remember seeing
Yes.
like advertisement for him. I just remember the name of it.
Yes, I think he reminds me of the main the writer for him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I haven't looked up though. I haven't double checked, but yeah,
pronounced Reese.
Reese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Chris just said.
Reese Darby.
Yeah.
Reese Darby.
Oh, Reese Darby.
He's
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know him from Flight of
Yeah.
Conchords.
Yes.
He's hilarious.
Yes. He was also in the movie
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah.
He's a
Yes,
he-
he was.
we're
He was the
werewolves, not swearwolves.
He's a
Yes.
fantastic singer, by the way.
Yes.
He's hilarious. I love him. And him and Taika Waititi together is like, it's just gold. It's New Zealand, Australian gold.
Yes. All right, Frey, your thoughts as an immortal? How do you feel about this immortal taking over the ship?
Well, I don't ever want to go back to ships like that because they're very uncomfortable and they're smelly. But
there's a reason it's called
and they
a poop deck.
leak. They leak more than you would think that they do. They really do. There is water everywhere. You are not dry the whole time you're out there. I'm just saying that. All right. So that being said, I think they did very well. It's historically kind of accurate. Yeah, as you guys know, Dracula was a friend of mine. I can't say enough good things about him. Always treated me well when I was, when I needed a place to stay. Never had to worry about any kind of like vermin or people bothering me. It was a great, like, I could just go and just like silence. No one messed with me at all. It was just great. Really needed a mental break. Went to Drax's place. That's what I did. I told him not to get on that boat, by the way. No, so seriously, I love this. I love historical movies. I'm a huge, I think I love Jane Austen. That's for different reasons, because she's a cheeky little so-and-so, and I love how she talks about all of these, uptight people in the Regency era. But I also really love more historical horror. It's, to me, we say science is, or magic is science we don't understand. I feel like history is magic as well. Because if you read about history, you transport yourself back there, which is time travel. And so that's science and it's magic. And we may not understand everything. And the further back you go, the more blurry it gets, because we don't have all of the facts. So it's kind of nice. And it's nice. And to me, that kind of horror is a lot more suspenseful, because you're not sure. Right. And you're like, oh God, was this that horror back then? And it makes you kind of feel that kind of horror. Maybe it's generational horror. I don't know. But like, that kind of fear for your ancestors, like, did they have to go through this? Kind of really messes with me. So I really love that. I think it's a great part of the story that really isn't ever highlighted.
It's very minimal in the book. Yeah.
Oh, very.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think that this is that part. Like, there's always that one part of the story where you're like, well, what happened here? No matter what they tell you, you're like, I want to hear about this story, about that. And I really think that this is that missing piece. So I think it's, I have high expectations for it. I'm hoping it's not too dark, like actually physically dark, not like the movie itself has dark tones, but like you can't see stuff in the movie. Because sometimes if it's too dark, I think it loses some of that, where you're just like, well, I just can't see anything, so I don't care. So, right. And I'm hoping that's what it is, because a lot of it that I saw looked dark. It was really dark. Yeah. I just don't want to spend a whole, 2.5 hours in the darkness trying to go, is that him?
Right. Dracula?
Yeah.
Right. So that was my only con. So.
All right. Should do.
I was kind of making a comparison to like Rime of the Ancient Mariner. It kind of felt similar to that in a way. Kind of just with the isolation and the whole, I think it's really good with horror to have, I mean, not that I'm really a big horror fan, but I enjoy it sometimes.
That's my son.
To kind of have that isolation, that helps induce that feeling of loneliness and just desperation and all of that. It really, so I think it being on a boat and it being, Dracula and all this, and you're transporting the dirt and whatnot, it's really got this sense of isolation, which adds an extra layer to it that is missing in a lot of horror.
Yes. Cool. I mean, I don't like horror movies. I'm all about DC. No, I'm excited. First off, though, I mean, spoiler, it's telling us it's the Last Voyage.
Yeah. You heard the story,
No, I'm
Look,
excited.
I watched John dies at the end, and he didn't. So
no. It is, the claustrophobicness of it. It is just like the movie Alien, because they literally have no place to go. There's the ship in space, and they're trapped with a creature they can't really do anything about. That being said, shameless plug, we will be discussing this and good Dracula movies as well on the podcast. And we did discuss Renfield. And I think you all know my issues I had with Renfield.
Yeah.
And long story short, it's not horror. Vampires have become action and romance and comedy. I'm excited for a vampire movie to potentially be terrifying again, because it needs to be. We need to stop this, and we need to go back to the classic Universal Monsters formula of terror. We really haven't gotten it since Fright Night or 30 Days of Night, and vampires have just been a joke for the most part in cinema for the past 30 years.
Man, 30 Days of Night, that was so good.
Yeah. So no, I'm excited for it. You know, I feel sorry for Sir Davos. I don't think he's gonna survive. And it'd be interesting if anyone survives, honestly, because we kind of all know how this ends, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just, to me, I'm gonna go say something that I said in 1997 when Titanic came out. The ship sank. Get over it. We all know what happens to the crew on this. The real question
end is going to be the ship going down, and then like the creature.
So
and then you're gonna see Celine Dion come out. She's gonna sing "You're here, there's nothing," and then it's just gonna roll credits.
But
I need that to happen.
But something that's really interesting to me is we don't see a Renfield, because Renfield is the sole survivor on Demeter when it goes into the port. And that's what gets them thrown into the sanitarium. So, not having known who the Renfield is, I think we will get Renfield created on this voyage.
Ooh.
Or Renfield's a Skrull and he's one of the characters.
There you go. And I think
But we know who Renfield is, because that movie, and it's Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, Graveyard, you poor thing.
And then he's gonna be in it.
It'll feel good to have an actual scary vampire.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the main actor that we see, the new guy that's on the voyage that is learning about Dracula. I think he will end up being Renfield, and this could lead into the actual Dracula movie.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. So,
well,
cool.
I mean, you're the resident horror guy, so
I am.
You are.
So no, and yeah, that's I have high hopes. I hope it's scary. I hope it has tension. I hope the atmosphere is great. You know, and
oh my god.
See, she's not creepy at all.
You gotta do the women or a kid. La, 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 la.
I mean, I think she's adorable, but you know, once again, I have no soul and things don't drown scare.
Yep.
So,
well,
all right.
You and me both, Graver.
All right. So,
what's your name?
All right. So, last but not least, the nerd out segment for today, and I decided to go with Graveyard Digs.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
I like
we
it.
had other names.
We had other names, but yeah.
That one just dig it.
Right.
I mean, if you had gone with like Graveyard's Undertaker or something, you would have had to do something about wrestling.
You know what? I think that's really deep. I think it's really deep.
Only about 6 feet.
Yep. About 6 feet.
So what I wanted to nerd out is it's something that we've discussed on stream, off stream, and that I've said most people don't seem to be talking about, and that is the show Yellowjackets. So, have you seen it, Mezzo?
Only the first season, because we don't have the streaming service.
Okay.
It's on. We were able to see the first season last year in June when we were in Vegas because they had the streaming service on the TV. So we've been kind of tempted to just subscribe to it so we can see the second season.
Yes. So for anyone who hasn't seen, a best way to describe Yellowjackets is the movie Alive about the soccer team trapped in the Andes meets Lost.
And Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, and Lord of the Flies. So, and it's something that I don't feel is getting enough love in the community that I am part of, the nerd community or anything like that. I know on some server that's not there anymore, but now it's part of the Nerd Haven, shameless plug, is that we discussed this, and a lot of people think it is a show for moms, for housewives, and I don't agree with that at all. So yeah, spoilers are ahead. So if you haven't watched this, Chris, I would turn this off right now, and we'll come back to it. But I don't think it's getting enough.
Yeah.
I don't think it's getting enough love for the community, because they have.
No, I'm kidding. That was
yes.
that was for you, James.
It essentially is two timelines. You follow people in 1996 and then in 2021. So, essentially, a soccer team called the Yellowjackets are on a private plane. They're going to the Nationals and to play, and their plane crashes, and that's how you get kind of the lost thing. They're stranded in the wilderness, and everything like that. So, and it's interesting because you go back and forth between the past and the present day. So you see them as adults and you see them as teenagers. And we have a lot of big names in the show. We have, I don't remember her name, but do you watch Army of the Dead? Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Drax's daughter. She is in the first season.
Drax's daughter's in the first season
from Army of the Dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
And I was about to say.
Yeah, and then then as adults, you have names like Christina Ricci. You have name, and then you have Melanie Linsky, if you know who she is.
She's been on everything. She's been in She was in Beautiful Creatures.
Yes.
She most recently was in Last of Us.
Correct. Yes. And then you have
Emmy Rossum.
Emmy Rossum. She's delightful.
And then I can't think of her name. She was the girl in Dusk Till Dawn.
Hayden Panettiere. No, sorry, that's the game Until Dawn.
She plays the older version of Nat. Juliette Lewis.
Oh, Juliette Lewis. Oh,
yes.
She was also the daughter in Cape Fear.
She's spectacular.
And she was a daughter in one of the National Lampoons.
Yes, she was as well. And then she was also in something else.
She's been in
kind of like The True Romance, but it was another one. It was her, and Brad Pitt, California.
Yeah, and you have Tawny Cypress. If you watch the last two Scream movies, she's in that.
No, I haven't. I'm on a Scream diet.
And then Sophie Thatcher, who is new, and she was in Stephen King's The Boogeyman, which you guys saw my review of. So yeah, there are a good number of people in this, and it's really interesting because the only thing that really bothers me from the show is, especially with like Juliette Lewis and Christina Ricci and Mel Linsky, we know what they looked like 25 years ago because some of us are old and remember what they were doing in the 90s.
I get Linsky and Ever After.
Right. But I think it is a good mystery thriller because you don't know if there's supernatural elements or not. You don't know if there's cannibalism or not. And it's just watching people survive. And there's hints because I think there's like 17 people that survived the plane crash, but in the future, we only see 4 of them.
Oh, okay.
So there is that mystery of who survives, who doesn't, what really happened, and it's just a big mystery that's being revealed in the past and the present at the same time.
And the very beginning of the series shows you a thing from the past, and it kind of, to me, my theory for that Graveyard, I haven't seen the second season, so I don't know, is that that's the end, towards the end of their survival out there.
Yes.
It is, if you guys watch it, Frey and Liam, it's very, very freaky.
Yes.
It's like twisted freaky. Like,
yes.
What the actual, like what you said, Frey, during Crimson Dawn. What the, and that is like exactly how you feel watching this, because it's like twisted, but then there's weird ties from their survival out there to current day,
Yes.
like stuff that they experience, not like just the normal survival stuff you go through, but like eerie, twisted stuff.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the second season, and it closed off the first season with one of the characters being taken, and you're kind of like, what is going on?
Yes.
So yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited when we finally get to watch the second season to find out more answers, because it's
need to
really,
watch it.
it's like one of those disturbing shows that you can't stop thinking about when you first see it, because like a train wreck that you can't look away from, kind of a thing. Not like it's a bad show
Yeah.
train wreck, but like it's that feeling of can't stop watching this disturbing thing.
Yes.
It's like it's a slow horror psychological kind
It's
of
very psychological, and
Yeah.
and season 2 is doubling down and is even better, because the opening scene, the spoiler opening scene is it's 7 people wearing masks hunting someone
Oh wow.
in the past. So, and then there's, like I said, there's mysteries, there's symbols that appear that may be supernatural related, that may not be supernatural related, that are kind of cultish, and it's just them trying to survive in the wilderness with, the adults essentially dying except for one. And
Christina Ricci is spectacular.
Christina Ricci is amazing, and her character in the past is insane, to say the least. To the point where she feels needed, because she was kind of just like the water boy, essentially, the towel manager of the team. She didn't actually play soccer, and they didn't view her as part of the team. And spoilers here is to be useful. She destroys the black box from the plane.
Oh wow.
Because she has all these survival skills.
Yeah, so she's useful.
So she feels that vindication of being a hero and useful, and being like put up where she's always wanted to be, and she doesn't want that to end. She has that hero complex.
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
And what's happening in the present timeline is that they are getting blackmailed by someone trying to expose their past, because there is very newsworthy. They're gone for 18 months, but no one talks about what happened while they're gone for those 18 months. It
sounds like it's got a little splash of Big Little Lies in it too.
A little bit.
I can see that.
But like I said, this is to me, this is they have 5 seasons planned out, and I know they're renewed for at least 3. So
yeah, I probably felt WTF probably like 3 times in each episode.
Yes.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
It really throws you. And you enjoy it because you're used to so much writing that's like you can predict what's going to happen, or you're used to the feeling. This is like completely a different feeling.
Yes.
Oh, now I want to go and freaking subscribe.
Yes. We'll make it happen, Matt, so don't worry. So, like I said,
was gonna say is I hope it doesn't end like Lost did, where it just kind of like goes bleh with the Lost,
right?
Because it did with
Hello,
Lost.
son.
Yes. So no, it is a fantastic show. If anyone who likes what a M. Night Shyamalan thing could be, if he was good at what he did. Because it's I don't know if anyone's watched Servant that he did on Apple TV. It's a lot like that. Like I said, it is intriguing. You don't know if there's supernatural elements or not. There's questions whether it can be or not, and it's great. You don't know who is going to survive through the end of this all. Obviously, some adults are there in the present day, and they allude to other things. And I gotta say though that something to really watch for is in season 2, Elijah Wood's in it.
Oh wow.
So he is phenomenal in this. And there's also a cop that did you ever watch Horse Girl?
Is it David Harbour? Please tell me the cop's David Harbour.
It's not David Harbour. But no, the guy in it is fantastic.
Is it the one that they knew when they were younger?
No.
Like Juliette Lewis's character knew?
No.
Okay.
No. He's in season 2, so he's been in a lot of stuff. He's a young guy, but he plays kind of a dick, and he's great at it. And he has got a perfect stash, so it's amazing.
You said Horse Girl.
Yeah, Brie Larson. He's also in the comedy of furry aliens taking over the world. The world ends with us, or this is the end, or not this is the end, but they go to a cabin, turn off technology. He's amazing in it. So
who does he play in Horse Girl?
The boyfriend.
One reason like you feel like you aren't sure if there's supernatural elements or not is
seen it.
when you watch the show, you're seeing it a lot of times from the character's like point of view. Yes. And so you're not sure if they're just imagining something or if something's actually happening. There is one point in the woods where all the girls in the soccer team and one other character like feel kind of weird. I'm not going to go into spoilers specifically on that, just to save for you two and anyone else who's going to watch. But they see things and you're like, okay, is that supernatural or is it the weird feeling that they're having? You know, right. So I really enjoyed the first season, and I knew Elijah was in the second, and I love him, so I can't wait to finally watch the second.
Oh, he's Officer Callahan in Stranger Things. The dopey deputy in Stranger Things.
Funny. Okay.
So, yeah, he's in that. It's great. So, I don't want to spoil too much more about it, but I think anyone who enjoys a good mystery, who wants a good, is it supernatural, is it not, and not get the not Penny's boat feel of it, or
not Penny's boat.
So I think the show is underrated, and realistically, more people need to watch it, and I want to discuss it. And when season 3 comes out, I want us to do predictions on this show for season 3 because it's not getting the coverage, and I think we are missing a big opportunity to do it. There you go.
Cool.
So yeah,
that's in my hand.
That's why I've been around. That's why I've been discussing a lot. It's my co-host watches it, and my other buddies watch it, and those are the only people I know that have watched everything, and we discuss it. Hopefully, I convince people here to watch it as well.
I'll watch the second season.
Yes, it's not gory, it's not gruesome. It is a good mystery kind of guessing game, and there's so much lore to it that
it's very murder mystery-esque with 2 different storylines that actually link together.
Yes,
that link together, and very creepy. What the F? And it's such a breath of fresh air with all writing that can sometimes feel the same. Pay your writers though.
Yes.
Pay your writers, pay your actors, pay everybody a living wage. Let's do this thing.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was my nerd out, my graveyard stakes for today. Anything else anyone wants to add before we call it for the day? Other than Metso, why don't you do a little sponsor there plug for what's going on?
Guys, well, we have a couple of things going on for us now. We got Dubby. We are sponsored by Dubby. You can get yourself 10% off by using the link or the code in the description below. And I am also an affiliate for Nomad Trek Store, which has a lot of fun gaming things. They got Overwatch, Apex. They have mouse pads. They've got headphones. They've got some really cool things you can get. They even have a cute little tree that lights up kind of golden lights. It's really pretty. If you want to check them out, go in the link description below, and you can use my code METSOJD10 for 10% off of your purchase. And you can follow me on Twitter at METSOJD or on Instagram at the same handle. I use my Twitter more than my Instagram, so check me out there, METSOJD.
Thank you. Should do. Give us your pluggable, sir.
Awesome. I am SHU Studios here on YouTube. As well, I will probably be SHU on Instagram pretty soon as well. So there you go. And I'm on Frey's channel. I'm going to be on there fairly often doing Classified, which is our show where we take your favorite fandoms, characters from your favorite fandoms, and we put them into their respective D&D classes.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you very much. Skrull Queen.
Hey, I'm the Skrull Queen. I'm in my Skrull era. So I'm Frey, and yeah, like Shadu said, we recorded an episode of Classified. I think it went pretty well. We still need to edit it. And we've got 3 more shows that we already have planned for it. So be sure to check that out on Fray Girl. And that is my YouTube channel right now. It has Corgi shorts on it. So if you want to see Corgis doing really funny things, check my channel out. I am here on Saturdays for the Saturday morning nerd out. It is the only time I am caffeinated, so definitely check it out. And on Tuesdays, I'm on the download, and I say some pretty crazy stuff on that as well. Yes, Distance Nerding, our sister channel. And then let's see, I think that's it. I mod for Distance Nerding and for Kyber Cave Productions. We do have that Find That Skrull in there if you guys want to check out who's got what points. I did update all of the lists, so they are updated with the accurate amounts, and I'll have the one for this week up pretty soon. So yeah, but that's me. So check that out. Also, Fray About Town on Patreon. I do that randomly, just whenever I'm out and want to record something. And but that's on our Patreon. You can join our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And if you join at the higher levels, you get in all of our drawings for our lightsabers that we do every 100 subscribers.
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm Graveyard co-host of the Mostly Pod at Night, Mostly podcast. You can find us in all social media at Pod Out at Night. You can find new episodes every Wednesday at comicconradio.com. Make sure to check it out, where our sister channel Distance Nerding is there as well as Geek Saga and a whole bunch of other awesome people that do amazing podcasts. Speaking of Distance Nerding, you can find me there doing the build and interviewing people at the build while Phil is building Legos and doing the brackets, where Frey is hunting us down, making a list, and slowly and record it when she's about town.
Checking it twice.
Just call me Bloody Santa.
There you go. If you want to follow the Beard, you can follow the Beard at Beard's Graveyard on Twitter, where he is posting really unique things. So make sure to check that out as well. We are going to make it a thing. On top of that, as Frey said, join our Patreon just for a little $1 a month. You can help support our channel and help us bring in new shows and new content to you guys. So make sure to check that out. It helps support us, and we can do more amazing things for you guys, with you guys, and more things to come. As well, we have merch, people. Not Distance merch, but kcpmerch.com, where we have Beer in the Chair. We have Beer in the Chair. We have Retro Alcove, and we have a whole bunch of new stuff coming out designed by the one and only Mezzo. Yes, we have Kyber Cave pint glasses. We have Kyber Cave flamethrowers. We have Kyber Cave the toilet paper.
You know what? We might need to do that just in case another pandemic happens.
Right.
And then suddenly we make a lot.
What do you wipe your bum with? I wipe my bum with Kyber Cave Productions toilet paper.
Exactly. So make sure to check that out. That helps support us as well. And our main parent channel, kybercave.com, where you can go get yourself a lightsaber like this one and only Graveyard lightsaber. And we have discounts every once in a while, so make sure to check it out. And you can get fonts from Force FX from saberfonts.com, along with his friends Haley Solo Fonts and Juan Sith, and more font information coming soon from Graveyard and Force. So make sure to stay tuned and check that out.
It's loads of font.
Loads of fonts, yes. And if you ever want to talk nerdy to us and talk horror with us, join our Discord server. We love to hear from you guys. Join Distance Nerding, join Kyber Cave Discord servers. Lots of fun stuff there. We are having a blast. Yeah. Ooh,
thank you, Van. He just bought his RA and conspiracy shirts because the conspiracy one's up now.
Yes, the conspiracy one is up. So make sure to check all this stuff out. And comment, subscribe. This helps us know if you're enjoying the content. Let us know in comments what you want to see. And share this with everyone, because the more subscribers we have, the higher we get to the hundreds levels where you can get a free lightsaber from Kyber Cave where you can then go get your fonts from saberfonts.com from Forza FX.
And check out
Yeah.
kybercave.com.
Kybercave.com, yes. Awesome
Yeah.
stuff where we have the Mezzo, we have the Frey, we have the Force, we have the Captain. All of our big hosts here have their own lightsabers.
Thank you.
It's
man.
awesome. Yes.
Yeah, man, thanks. I feel so special that I have one. And
Yes.
yeah.
And
it's just
remember,
amazing.
every graveyard lightsaber has a piece of my beard into it, so you can feel even more powerful.
It powers.
And-
It powers.
People
the
give blood,
the-
sweat, and tears. He
focuser.
gives beard.
Yes.
I want when I finally get my wizard from Diagon Alley, or my wand from Diagon Alley. Yeah, I'm gonna get my own wizard. That's slavery. All right, I
You get
my
one
wand
wizard
from
for free, take him.
I mean, it
Diagon
depends
Alley.
on what you use it for.
Yes.
That's true. But if I get that, I want a graveyard's beard hair as my core for
Yes.
that, because it's gonna, because it can do close-up magic.
Exactly. So, on behalf of everyone here, thank you for nerding out with us on this Saturday for live. And you're watching this feature, make sure to check out everything that we put out. New shows coming up, content every single day of the week. We love you guys, and make sure to be good to each other and nerd out. And thank you, Cavers, Dwellers, Splunks, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.